Hello, so I'm going to be doing a review on the S&T As Val Airsoft gun. Reason being is that as of the time of this recording, there's not a single video review on the internet, YouTube, nothing. There's not a single video review on this particular model, the orange tip model. Echo 1 has a very similar version, but there's a very key difference in between. That's the battery compartment. The Echo 1 version, which is the one pictured here, does not have the orange tip. The S&T version does. And there's several reviews on the S&T, on the Echo 1 version, which is not the orange tipped. Not a single video review on this one. Now there's a single complaint review on Evike, saying how shitty of a gun it is, how they could not find the battery compartment. When I bought this gun, there was not a single review, so I took the risk, and I made the mistake of buying this gun. Anyway, so I'm making the review, so you guys have to go through the same pain that I did. It took me a very long time to figure out this gun. Longer than it should have. Mostly the battery compartment, because there's not even an instruction book either, so I was completely on my own. Anyway, so when you first get the gun, it's going to be in this box. It's a very fancy box. So you take the gun, very fancy, and then take that off the cover, and then you get this very official looking. Take that off, foam, and then here's the gun. As you can see, it's the orange tip model. So we're gonna take the gun out. The gun is actually full metal, mostly full metal, but basically full metal. So yeah, it's actually, the gun's pretty heavy actually. It's pretty heavy. The only thing that is not, so yeah, the entire gun is metal, with the exception of the handle, this piece, and then the orange tip. Other than that, everything else is metal, including the internals. And then you got the stock, which folds. And here's a banana for comparison, so you can get a general idea of the size of it. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, As Val is a weapon used by like Russian special forces. Yeah, it's AK based. In real life, it's actually really quiet, I guess, supposedly. Yeah, like I said, it's an AK based model, so there are some major like similarities, like the thing that releases the magazine, the ejection port, the switching between modes, the aim, or yeah, the iron sight. So yeah. And then the major thing about this gun is the battery compartment, because like I said, there's not a single review, there's no instructions. Finding the battery compartment was the hardest part. In the Echo 1 version, this is a metal piece, and you take a tool, and you unscrew it, and you put the battery in there. The battery compartment is in the barrel, and how you access that battery compartment is on each side. There's these little hexagonal screws. So you take a screwdriver, take those out. Alright, and then the stock can also fold. However, it does fold the wrong way. The stock, it folds on the right, when in real life it should fold on the left. But the reason for that is because in real life, you have the ejection port where the shells come out of. If the stock is folded, the shells can't get out, and that's kind of a problem. However, we don't have to deal with that in airsoft, so they decided to make it fold to the right, which I can see why, because the scope mount is right here, and if you fold it to the left, it's going to be conflicting with the scope mount, so they fold it to the right. And then, yeah, you have the other screw right here, which you unscrew. So you take out the screws. Actually, when I first got the weapon, the one of the screws came stripped. So this is the original screw that came with it, and these are the. I had to go to Home Depot and buy some screws which were a little bit bigger because they didn't have this model of screw. So I had to buy some screws that were a little bit bigger because one of them came stripped. So there's that for you. So I got these. So in real, not in real life, but like with the original screws, and like fit snugly. These it kind of bulges out. Anyways, so the battery compartment. So you take it, you undo the screws, and you slide out the barrel, and the batteries go in there. And that worked. But the problem was, after my first time, the wires got tangled up. And so like the converter thing, like this thing, that you hook up your batteries to, it got tangled up and I couldn't access it. That was my main problem. Anyways, that's where the battery compartment is. But like I said, the battery wires got all tangled up and stuff like that, so I had to figure out a way around it because I could not access the port or whatever. And so it took me a long time. It took me a long time to just figure out where the battery compartment was in itself. Take out the screws, and then what I would do, because like I said before, the the wires get all tangled up and stuff like that. Ignore that. Like I said before, the wires get all tangled up and stuff, so I couldn't access the compartment. What I did to go around that is, because like I said before, it comes with an orange cap. What I did to get around that was I took a knife and I cut off the orange cap, and when it came out, these are two separate pieces, and then this came out, this broke off, so I had to glue that back on. So if you cut that out, you then get this, which is just like a raw barrel. And then, give me a second. So yeah, you cut out the orange piece, and then I was able to get access to the converter thing. So I cut out the orange part, and I got access to the converter thing, which you then take the two battery sticks, which of course were not included with the gun because the e-bike is cheap. So you take the two stick batteries, which which barely fit in this barrel. So like these are the only batteries you can really use. So then you take it and you hook it up to the thing, and you put it in the barrel, and then take this orange piece and you just put it back in. I feel like that's the best way to do it. That's the only way I found how to do it, how it works so far. So just to clarify up, the battery compartment is in the barrel. Undo the two screws. You'll access the battery port. Wires get tangled, so what I did is I don't do that way anymore. I just cut out the orange tip, and then I just put the battery in through here, and then put the orange tip back on. That's what I found works best so far. I haven't actually used this gun in battle yet. I've shot it once, and that one time I did shoot it, it shot very smoothly, shot very nice, very smoothly, made a really nice sound actually. I haven't actually used it in battle yet, so I can't say how it performs in battle. But when I shot it, it was really nice. I mean, in terms of looks, it looks pretty cool. That's all that matters, right? No, so, I mean, it looks good. It shoots pretty well. I don't know how it performs in battle. But, like, I mean, for what it's worth, like $200, it's around like 400 FPS, I think. For what it's worth, for what you're getting, it's not worth it. Especially with like a more obscure model like the AS Val. If you're buying more unique, obscure models, do not make the mistake that I made and cheap out on them. Do not cheap out on the models. It's not worth it with like more obscure models. Just buy the LCT version. It's probably 1,000 times better than this. So, I mean, that's really all there is to it. As your typical AK sight, very awful. Can't see anything out of it. Typical AK sight, you have like the elevation adjustment right here. And then you can access the internals. There's like a little button right here that you press, and this comes out, and then you can access the internals, which, as you can see, are metal. I mean, like, overall, I'd probably give it like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I mean, like, I'm gonna go shoot a little bit, but like I said before earlier, for what you're paying, it's just not worth your money. And like the amount of trouble you're gonna have to go through, or at least what I had to go through. You guys won't have to go through this. The amount of trouble you're gonna have to go through in order to get to the battery compartment, it's just not worth it. Just go buy the LCT version if you really want AS Val that bad. As well as the fact that you can only use this type of batteries. I also forgot to mention, it comes with the gun, and then a magazine, a single magazine, and for which it has 2 different magazines. It has a standard magazine, I guess, like a mid cap, which is 100 rounds, which in airsoft, if you've played airsoft, you know 100 rounds is nothing. Like, you'll go by that really quickly. They also sell a high cap version that holds 150 rounds, so I'm gonna have to buy that. But yeah, the magazine, I mean, fits pretty snugly in there. It's just like a AK. Give me a second. Let me just fix it up a bit. But I mean, like I said though, it's just not worth your money. $200. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but she was like around like 400 FPS or so. Around 400 FPS. So that's pretty good, I guess. I did a sniper a while back. I shot like 550. That's pretty nice. Anyway, so alright, I forgot the orange tip. Basically, yeah, the important part is the battery, to me at least. Take the battery, put it in the port, put it in the barrel. Take the orange tip, and then orange tip fits nicely back on. Hold on. There we go. So, yeah, this is what the full gun looks like. You know, it's got the stock, got the magazine, all that stuff, and then it has safety. I believe this is, if I remember correctly, this is semi-auto, and this is auto. One all the way down. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna go shoot a little bit though. But yeah, overall, I'd rate it like a 5 or 6 out of 10. I mean, yeah. So I'm gonna have to go buy the rail converter, because the iron sight is awful. And then I'm gonna have to buy some more magazines, because 100 is just not enough. I'm gonna have to buy several 150 round magazines. Because, yeah, if you play airsoft, 100 rounds goes by really quickly. But I mean, that's basically all it. Damn, 14 minutes. I was trying to make this 5 minutes, but that's okay. That's really all there is to it. If you have any questions, just put it in the comments. I'll try to respond to it as quickly as possible. This is an alternate profile, so I'm not gonna be checking a whole lot. I'll try to check it like once a month maybe. But like, I mean, I don't know. So, just like, yeah, I guess. That's really all there is to it. S&T version. Just don't buy the gun, honestly. It's just simply not worth your money. Just, if you really want an ASFL, just buy the LCT version. Way better. I guess that's really it. Just, you know, like I said, any questions, just put in the comment section below. I'll try to get to you as quickly as possible. See you guys later.